Hey guys, what's up? It's Deprimido. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here in FL Studio and I'm going to be breaking down LiL Peep type beats. This is kind of a tough video to do because LiL Peep was one of the most unique artists and the most powerful artists of an entire generation. He really just inspired so many people and he helped usher in an entirely new era of rap music. I was saying kind of similar things about Juice WRLD in the video that I did about him the other day, but I mean, without LiL Peep, probably Juice WRLD wouldn't have even been here. So everything that I said about Juice WRLD also goes for Peep. It's just a cause and effect. But Peep is one of my favorite artists ever, and I think he's just, really, really incredible. So hopefully with this video, I can at least do a little bit of justice to his name. So starting off with the tempo, these beats are going to be pretty slow. They're generally going to be anywhere from about 120 or 125 BPM all the way up to maybe like 140 or 145, but they're usually going to be sort of in the lower range of that. Occasionally he's got some faster songs, but generally they're in a pretty low tempo. Almost always these beats are just going to start off with a rock-inspired guitar melody, kind of like this. Also, I know that sounds really bad right now, but we're going to get into some effects and make it sound way better. So as you can hear, it's generally going to be fairly simple little riffs. You're going to do them mostly on the lower strings of the guitar. You can also do these beats with VSTs. This is one of the easier styles of guitar to get down with a VST and make it sound decent and realistic, but I would recommend using a real guitar because there's no replacement really. If you do want to see me make one of these beats with only VSTs though, I did a video on that which I'll put up in the card. And a lot of the time, these guitar parts are pretty much the only melody that's really in the song other than maybe a pad or something like that, but these beats don't really have counter melodies so much. So I just added this pad. I just wrote out the MIDI for the guitar part that I played and I put it on this pad. Then I put halftime on the pad as well. This is what it sounds like. And that's all I'm going to do for the melody. So for the drums, it's just going to be a pretty standard trap beat. You're usually going to start off with a two-step and then add a few rolls or a few doubles or something like that. Just make sure that you keep the hi-hat simple enough. You can add some stuff, but just don't go super crazy doing like southside type rolls and stuff like that. It's mostly just about the vocals on these beats and stuff, so you don't want to add too much. You want to leave a lot of space. This is the hi-hat pattern that I came up with. Next, instead of using a clap, you're usually going to want to use a snare. Just make sure that it's something that knocks. This is what I chose to go with. Next, for the bass, you can either do a sub bass or an 808. A sub bass is going to be a little bit more common, and that's what I'm going to do personally for this beat. So for me, I just made this really simple sub bass using the triple oscillator, and I just copied the root notes of the pattern onto it. This is what it sounds like. With the sub bass in these types of beats, you usually want it to be less heard and just kind of more felt. You just kind of want it to be there to fill up the bottom frequency range, but you don't really want it to be very noticeable at all. You just really want it to be nice and tucked away. Next, for the kick, you want to do sort of less of a trap type of kick pattern and more type of a rock kick pattern. So for example, a trap kick pattern is going to go more like this, whereas a rock pattern is going to be based more on this. So for me, this is the kick pattern that I made. Next, you can just add a pretty simple open hat. Just make sure that the sound that you decide to go with isn't too crazy loud or in your face or anything. Just make sure it's pretty chill and relaxed. This is what my pattern sounds like. And this is all that I'm going to add to the beat. These beats don't have lots of sounds. They're very simple. You just really want to leave a lot of room for the vocals because that's kind of the main focus of these songs. Next, I'm going to mix this. If you guys want to see my mixing tutorial, I'll put it up in the card. The only thing that's specific about these mixes that I should mention is that they use a lot of reverb on pretty much everything. You just want to have a lot of reverb. Alright guys, so this is my mix. It's actually a little bit more complicated than usual, but what I did is I took the guitar, I just cloned it, I gave it its own mixer track, and I put the exact same effects on it. Then I panned one all the way to the left and one all the way to the right. That just helps give it a little bit of a fuller sound. Now getting into the effects, I've got a compressor, just doing this. That's to just kind of even out the volume across the audio clip. Then we've got an EQ cutting out some of the lows. I got fresh air to add a little bit of high-end sparkle to it. Doesn't do much, it's not super audible. Then we've got just a little bit of chorus, micro finisher just on the original preset, and I turned the mix down there, and then I also turned it down over here. That's just again to add a little bit of high-end sparkle. Then you can see it's the exact same thing right here. Then on this pad, as I said, I've got halftime, but that's it. On the hi-hat, we've got some reverb right here. Nothing on the snare. On the bass, I've got saturation knob, just adding a little bit of saturation and a little bit of presence. Nothing on the kick and nothing on the open hat. Then I just leveled it. Altogether, it sounds like this. As you can hear, it's very, very spacey. It's kind of off in the background, but it's also very punchy with the kick and the drums and stuff. It goes hard, but the melody is just very spacey and there's lots of extra room and it's kind of just very empty, but it still works and it doesn't sound empty. So the only thing left is to arrange it, which I'm going to do now, and I'll play the beat at the end of the video. There's nothing particularly interesting about these arrangements though. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. When I reach 300 subscribers, I'm dropping a free loop kit that you can all get. Also, make sure to go follow me on Instagram. When I reach 2,000 followers, I'm dropping a free MIDI kit, so make sure you go follow me so you can get that soon. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.
How did Deprimido make this slap so hard?